got that drive in me, for the life of me. Staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Got that drive in me, for the life of me. Staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating a dream. This is where rage and humor collide. So hold on, starts igniting. My brain starts igniting when Shane starts writing. God placed us in this fighting to speak and enlighten. We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera lights dim, the chat starts to grin. The stream is live and buffering, the show is about to begin. So sit down and buckle it in. This is Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Pop culture chaos, living the dream, and the dream. Every Monday and Thursday, pop culture unleashed, living the...
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say
we can break this army here.
It has made us brothers.
I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time.
You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do.
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right,
Let's fly.
my name is the Lord. When I
tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! Yeah! My name is Brian, and that is Danny the Dark Knight. And you are watching Pop Culture Unleashed. Shane gets back next Thursday. You know what? It was perfect timing that Danny gets to join me for the season finale of The Boys.
Perfect for you, maybe. So we were, we being Salty Trekker and I were reviewing this show on Nerd Fights, but we stopped because the episode with the sex dungeon episode.
Oh yeah,
that broke me.
They keep raping Huey.
Yeah, that's yeah. They even made a Huey rape joke.
No, but then they raped him again the following episode with the hot shapeshifter.
So here's the thing. Like I was saying, we stopped. That episode broke us, and we decided we weren't going to review it anymore. So I didn't watch. I think the last two episodes. I don't know if it was the last two or just the last one. But after that episode, we didn't watch any. And then you asked me to earlier, so I was like, "Oh shit, I better watch this." And this, talk about stick in the land. This is what The Boys should be, not the garbage that I was watching. before. Right. This episode was fucking fantastic, or freaking fantastic. So,
yeah, there's been a few missteps this season, but we're going to get into that. What else are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about something that happened recently. And we can't use the word so soon. We can't use the word ASSIN, you know what I mean? When it comes to the attempted life of President Trump.
Oh, so well, did you see that?
In lieu of that word, we're going to use animation. So do not use the other word
I got
for
you,
the first 20 minutes, okay?
We do the same thing with, we call them Californians on our channel. So, but anyway, that's funny because earlier today on Twitter, you know Alex from the Salty Nerds?
Yeah.
So he retweeted this something. I don't know who Clay Travis is, but Clay Travis tweeted out, MSNBC says if Joe Biden recovers from COVID, it should be seen as a sign of strength similar to Donald Trump surviving an animation attempt. They really said this live on air, and then he has the clip. And so, and with that, he quote retweeted it or re-X'd it, whatever. And Alex says they are trolling the American people. Have to be. So I reply to this with, in addition to the heart, you know how you can hit the heart on X to like something. I said, in addition to heart, at Elon Musk must really add the laugh emoji, because that is just effing laughable. I'm getting really sick of blatant BS from all of these libtards, because that's saying that is ridiculous.
Like Facebook has the multiple reactions. We need different reactions on X.
I haven't used Facebook in so long, so I didn't know that.
That's the only good thing about Facebook is that you can react to a post other than just a heart. You can be like,
oh wait, I do remember
angry
that.
face, happy face,
angry face,
laughing face, whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that.
This is the tweet.
That's the tweet. Yeah, that's the tweet I replied to. That's just.
And yeah, he does.
That is shameful. That is, whoever said that really should be embarrassed. That is just the most. I liked Vader's take on it better. I refuse to call him by his new name. It's their way to get Biden replaced in the DNC, because he's just too old and embarrassing to stand a chance against.
So speaking of DNC, the RNC is happening too, and that is a hilarious SHIT show. Just a lot of crazy people over there. That guy, Matt Gaetz, like one day he looks normal, the next day he comes out and he looks like a lizard. He had like a crazy facelift or something. What are you doing, bro?
It was either that or, the lizard people that my old friend Jason used to talk about all the time are real. One of the two.
Yeah. I also found
he used to swear. Who was George W. Bush's? Was it Rumsfeld? Donald Rumsfeld. He used to swear that guy was a lizard person.
Yeah. I don't know if lizard people exist, but if they do,
I don't think they do.
It's clear that Matt Gaetz is one of them. Yeah. And then a lot of boomers over there, they're wearing like bandages on their ears to support President Trump. But some of the bandages, like they didn't get bandages, so it's just pieces of paper, and it looks so stupid.
I doubt it looks as stupid as whatever. Remember when all those Hillary supporters in 2016 were wearing those stupid like pink panties on their head or whatever?
Yeah, that was funny too. Yeah. And then it was funny. I was watching this Joe Rogan clip, and he had a really good point. Like this whole thing is just proving simulation theory. And we're in the third movie right now. Like, you had the first movie where it's like victory, and the second movie where the hero, if Donald Trump, if you consider Donald Trump the hero, he lost.
Like Empire Strikes Back,
right? He lost, but there's still hope. And now the third movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Return of the Jet or Trump. Return of the Trump.
So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the boys. We're gonna look at some memes. And we're just going to have a good time today. And I want to thank everyone here for joining us. Also, some crazy takes online. You can be, by the way, I'm a Christian, but you can be conservative and not be Christian. It's silly to think that those two things have to go together. That's
nuts. I'm not going to help this conversation because I am also both. So there's that.
I'm both, but I'm not agreeing with these people that are like, oh, they're the same thing. No, they're not.
They're not. They're not. They're not. But
there's overlapping values, but they're not the same thing.
I wish I could say I'm a liberal Christian. Actually, I don't ever wish I could say I'm a liberal. Never mind. But you know what I mean. So
right. So we're going to go on that. Yeah. So there's some heavy politics stuff here, but it all goes in hand with the boys because.
Oh yeah. The boys, final words.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Make America super again.
They said three things, and I really thought they were going to say "Make America." I thought they were going to be that on the nose.
I did too. I thought for a second they were. Yeah. And they even start the episode out with a trigger warning, which I will pull up for you right now. Mm-hmm. Which, look, just you guys, just so everyone here knows, like they wrote this like a year ago, a year and a half ago, a while ago. Mm-hmm. They did not know that there was going to be an attempt on President Trump's life. And I'm not going to say they got lucky because that's not, obviously it's never a good thing, but
yeah,
it just matched up.
I mean, if anything, they got unlucky.
Right.
You know,
here's
like how Winter Soldier got messed up. That TV show got messed up because they had a pandemic before the pandemic happened, and they had to redo that whole show because of it.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. You're right. Archmage says on the Flash, they said "Make America Grow Again." They did say that.
Yeah.
All right. So at the very beginning of the episode, it says viewer discretion advised. This episode contains scenes of fictional political violence. Any similarities to recent events are completely coincidental and unintentional.
Pretty well, funny. They had to do that because this entire season has been so blatantly anti-Trump. You know what I mean? Like it really has. I mean, they haven't even tried to hide it at all.
Yeah, no, they haven't. So we're going to jump in the review real quick. For everyone wanting to know where Shane is actually finishing his tour probably tomorrow, which means that he should be back, barring some serious problem, next Thursday. So I hope that you can continue watching and come back and welcome Shane back next week. Imagine if Homelander lost an ear. Imagine if Butcher took that shot and it just skimmed his ear. Okay, so first off, I want to start with this.
I was a little delayed reaction on my part. Sorry.
So last week, I'm not sure if you saw last week's show because I know you're working, but I made a prediction. And I was so spot on that I never do this. I never, brag about my predictions, but this one was so spot on that I need you to see it.
Okay.
And you can't hear it, so I'll tell you what I say afterwards.
Okay.
Victoria Newman. Yeah, he's gonna kill Newman, like for sure. It's gonna happen next week. I think his sentient tumor is gonna pick Newman up and just rip her to pieces. I literally said he's gonna kill Newman. His sentient tumor is gonna pick Newman up and rip her to pieces. Be like the finale.
Wow.
And that'll be the finale. Now, what happened? Ready? He picks up Newman, literally, and rips her to pieces. I'm just saying, I literally predicted it.
You know, why didn't she pop his head first? I just
he was covering her eyes and her mouth, so it had something to do with that. I think she has to have like line of sight on you.
Okay.
And she must have to have line of sight because the tentacles were literally covering her eyes. You know what I like about the show is like the writing is actually really good. So like that would be an answer. That would be a question you have, except for they already was aware that question was going to happen, and they wrote an answer into it by showing that he was covering her face with the tentacles.
Okay.
I don't think that was a mistake. Also, they showed one of the Secret Service agents who, coincidentally, almost as inept as President Trump's Secret Service agents. He escapes and he like runs away. And so it's very important that they showed that, because how else is
the news going to get out?
The news going to get out.
Yeah.
It's like, we wouldn't be if it was a Star Trek show, you wouldn't see that part. And you'd be like, how did anyone even find out? But because they wrote that little 8-second clip of him running away, you're like, okay, so there's an answer. It makes sense. I also liked how Sage did come back. And just because she could, like, she's so smart that her feelings don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, I liked how she was like, this all went according to plan. He's like, no, it didn't. He's like, no, I just didn't tell you the whole plan.
I wrote in the part where you were going to screw it up.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And there was a tag at the end where we see Soldier Boy. And I find this very interesting because President is played by, I'm forgetting his name right now, but he plays Bobby Singer in Supernatural, right? And in Supernatural, and you haven't seen it yet, but when you do, you'll see the similarities. He doesn't say idiot; he says idiot, just like he did here.
Okay.
And when he makes a mistake in Supernatural or something doesn't go his way, he says balls, just like he did here. He's pretty much playing the exact character in Supernatural, but now he's president of the United States. And then you have Jensen Ackles, who is playing Soldier Boy. And then we just found out that recently that Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam in Supernatural, while Jensen plays Dean, is going to be in a role for season 5. In season 5, we're going to have 6 different actors that were regulars on Supernatural as a big part of the season, in addition to 2 of the writers from Supernatural being writers and the creator, Kripke, running the show. So like, this is basically a giant Supernatural revival, which is pretty great.
Right on.
Another reason why you should watch Supernatural before next season, so you can really enjoy it.
Okay.
So yeah, we saw that tag at the end. Remember, Soldier Boy is Homelander's dad, right?
Yep. That's why he was tearing up.
Right.
Yep.
This is interesting because what happened with Soldier Boy at the end of last season? Like, he got taken by the Russians again or something, right?
No. Maeve tackled him, and then he went nuclear, and then we didn't really know until now. Apparently, the American government took him.
Okay.
I thought, I could be wrong. Maybe you're right.
He's in stasis again. So this is he's one of the few soups that can probably kill Homelander if he wanted to. Right? I mean,
now that little Homelander Jr. is broken bad, I think the 3 of them will just be a killer family.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Him just tossing her across the room like that.
I knew it was going to happen. I saw it coming. Like, as soon as she started tearing up, and I like normally sad, sappy Danny back when I drank, I was a lot more emotional. They would have suckered me in, and I would have started tearing up, and I was like, oh wow, that kid's gonna kill her. The second she started being like, when
her hand was on that button.
No. Before that, when she was like, when my grandchildren were taken away from me, and I thought I lost everything, and I felt hollow inside. Then a miracle came into my life. That miracle was you, and it was supposed to be this like tender moment. And I'm like, oh, she's dead.
You.
Yeah. I was like, he's gonna kill her.
Wow, she's gonna die immediately.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Like, they built that room that can hold a soup like Ryan. Well, if you can hold a soup like Ryan, then you can hold Homelander.
That's the point.
So I don't understand why they can't just sort of trap Homelander. If that room can actually hold Homelander, why don't they trap Homelander?
Trick him to get him in there somehow.
I mean, he's so arront; it wouldn't be that hard, right?
Right. Yeah.
And he doesn't think he thinks he's unstoppable. I can totally see, the president of the United States. I need to show you something. It's about Soldier Boy coming in there in this room with his button. You know what I mean? Like, all right, now lock it. Problem solved. I don't know. So speaking of solving the problem, Butcher did get the virus. Butcher appears to be okay for the moment with his crazy tumor, venom-like tumor, and he got the virus. So I'm assuming he's going to use it on Homelander. What did the scientists say? It's so strong that it's going to cause a pandemic, basically, for soups.
Yeah.
So
if that were true, I don't know why bother. Just kill the first soup you see with it, and it'll make its way to Homelander eventually. I don't know. Would that work? Would that
I think
not work?
he wants to guarantee Homelander dies.
Right. No, that's fair.
Like, because in order to make it strong enough to kill Homelander, it'll end up being a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, Kripke, apparently the next season was always supposed to be the final season. It was planned out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So which I like, because that means we're going to get an end to this story versus other shows where they get canceled before their time and we don't get an end, So.
Yeah, I love that. I actually love that about Amazon shows recently, is that it seems like, not all of them, but for the most part, the good ones get finished.
Yeah.
They don't just so here's my biggest criticism of Netflix, because Netflix usually, like, when they hit, they hit. However, they hit with a popular show, and you just know that show is getting tops 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to get more than 3 seasons, no matter how popular it is. It's got to be Stranger Things to even be considered for more than 3 seasons. And a lot of the times, they don't want you not to watch or cancel your subscription, so they won't tell you this is the last season. They just stop making it. I feel like these studios and these streaming companies, they need to commit more and be like, look, guys, this is the last season. Period. The end. This is the end. There's a finale to this. Unlike, let's say Lost in Space. We got 3 seasons, and they left that open-ended, because I think the writers and the showrunners were hoping that they would get a 4th, but Netflix never gives a 4th. It doesn't happen. So I like that Amazon, when they commit to something, they really commit, even when it's bad. In their credit, look, Rings of Power is a horrible show.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single second of it, so
it is god awful horrible. But
that's what I hear.
I gotta give them credit for being like, yeah, but we're gonna finish it. Because they could have just been like, look, no one liked this. It cost us $1 billion. Let's stop creating this show. No, they're going forward. They're gonna try to.
So what you're saying is Disney Plus should have finished the god awful Willow show.
I think, didn't they finish it?
No, they set it up for season 2.
Did they really? Yeah. Well, you know what? They should have done.
Really?
I'm saying, you got to give them credit for finishing the story. There are people out there that like this dribble, right? And now they're left in the loop.
Well, in that case, then I hope, because I could tell from your tweets, and I'm pretty much on the losing end of this argument. I loved The Acolyte, and I really want to see a season 2, but I'm afraid I'm not going to get a season 2.
I love you, Danny, but you're an insane person. The Acolyte is god awful.
It is so good. It is so good.
Bro,
it is so
okay.
Good.
So
I'm actually writing an article.
Lightsabers don't change colors.
Dude,
by
did
themselves.
you not see my? Did you? It's called Bleeding. It happened in the Darth Vader comic, which is canon. It's called Bleeding a Kyber Crystal. And in the only way, according to canon from the comic books, the only way this can be done is if an apprentice kills a Jedi without using a weapon. And then he takes the Jedi's lightsaber and he bleeds the Kyber crystal, and that turns the crystal red. That is straight out of the Darth Vader comic book. It's straight out of the Darth Vader comic book. I can pull it up for you, bro. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god.
I thought that scene was badass.
Oh my god.
I replied to your tweet. I know. I replied to your tweet, and I figured.
Did you?
I was surprised you invited me. You hit me up right after I replied to the tweet,
really?
So I was like, "Oh,
that was coincidental."
Yeah, total coincidence." Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because had I seen that, I definitely wouldn't have invited you.
No, that's what I figured. I was like, well, I'm not going to be on the show today. If
listen. We can also disagree about something and still be, still do a stream. But listen, I absolutely hate The Acolyte.
Everybody I know hates that
everything
show.
about Disney Star Wars has become. I'm totally apathetic to it. I don't care. I don't care what they do. I don't care where they go anymore. They can announce we brought Carrie Fisher back from the dead, and we're making episode. What would it be? 4,
10?
5, 6, 7. No, whatever. We're making a sequel, direct sequel to the original series, and we're ignoring everything. And I would still be like, I don't care.
Well, I don't look. I don't. There's a lot of Star Wars I don't like at all. But I look. Here's the thing. If you we Salty and I live stream, or not live stream, but we watch in real time each episode of The Acolyte as it came out together, and we put it on Patreon. Now, I'm not going to promote it or anything because that's not cool, and I don't make any money off of it because it's only his. But so I can't lie about because there's a recording of me watching it in real time and my real time reactions, and if I enjoyed way more, like at least 80 to 90% of that show. I was like oh my god, that's so bad. Like I was just really engaged and loved it. I just loved it.
I'm really happy for you.
And I appreciate that.
And
so when we reviewed Acolyte last night, both Mr. Know-It-All and Salty Trekker were like, I wish I saw the show that you saw because because
yeah. I wish that I liked it. No, and I understand like people have different tastes and they can like let things go and they can let logic loops and plot holes just sort of whiz by and maybe not notice them and they can still enjoy things. Look,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jedi, man. Come on. Who doesn't want to see that?
I attempted to give Star Trek the benefit of the doubt for like 5 years. Like you can go on record and people are like, no, listen, they can still pull up out of this tailspin. Like, look, here's the deal. Picard season 1, if they do this and this and this, then it's going to be an amazing ending and all this is going to make sense. And I made videos that got hundreds of thousands of views. My theories on the Romulans created the Borg, and this is why Picard is here, and this is why.
I remember that.
I made every attempt to justify season 1 of Picard, and they went the absolute worst possible direction.
And, they did,
and they destroyed it. Well, season two came up, and I did the same thing. I tried with every fiber of my being.
I remember that's why I had a hard time believing you when you were telling me season 3. You're like, bro, season 3 is so good. I was like, man, I love you, man, but I'm done.
Yeah,
but you were like, no, trust me. It's
season
really
3 did require justification. Like, notice, I didn't make any theory videos. I just covered the episodes. You know?
Yeah. No, season 3 was great. But anyway, I didn't mean to. I don't want to talk about the Acolyte. The point of that is. Back to your, at least they commit to finishing it. You didn't like The Acolyte. Do you think Disney should continue? Because they clearly left it open for a sequel series.
Well, I mean, season. for there are people that like it, and that's great.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
So if they like it, then I don't care if Disney wastes their money. Go for it. It's not going to change anything. The one thing that will bother me is that if there's a season 2, I'm going to be forced to watch it for the Salty Show, and I'm going to see thumbnail after thumbnail after thumbnail from everyone from Critical Drinker to Gary and Ryan, just constantly, dogging on everything they do. And that's my biggest problem is that I wish we didn't have to talk about it so much. Like it's not that I hate it, it's that I don't care. Yeah. So me not caring makes it worse when I have to see like every week I cannot avoid Acolyte stuff.
You guys, it's funny because I haven't got to watch the Salty Saturday show in a long time. I used to watch it. It's kind of like looking at your ex-girlfriend with a hotter guy. It's hard for me because I helped start that show.
Who's the hotter guy? Odin?
Any of you guys. I'm just not there anymore. But you all blow each other. You all agree. Like you need somebody like me who likes the Acolyte, so you can all dogpile.
Which is why I told Matt, let's stop talking about it. It's so dumb.
Like if you all hate it, stop watching it. If not even one person likes it, like what's the point?
But there are a lot of people that are not apathetic and they're still in the hate phase.
Yeah.
So like the different levels of depression or whatever, like there
or grief. Yeah, the 8 stages of grief.
Right, whatever it is. Yeah. So for Star Trek, I hung out a long time in like the bargaining stage where I was trying to make it work. Right.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to like the grief, and then eventually acceptance. The thing is, there are still people that are. I forgot what the second stage is, but there are still people.
It's okay. I just looked. It's fear, anger, denial, acceptance, confusion, despair, contact, content rules, and then celebration. Now, I thought one of them was like you said,
acceptance.
Is that well? Yeah, I said acceptance. Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, there are people that are still in like the denial or the grief stage.
I like denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, and then processing the grief. Those are the 7 stages.
So there are people that haven't gotten to the acceptance stage. They're still in like the anger stage, the denial stage, and they want to hear people that are able to sort of verbalize things maybe in a way that's slightly better than they can verbalize it in their head. They want to be able to hear people verbalize that anger so that they can feel justified in their grief. But what I got to say to those people is, stop watching that and just accept that it's over. The ride is over. If you hate it, if you like it like Danny, then, keep enjoying it, I guess. Whatever. But, so when it comes to The Boys, though, I'm glad that they commit to finishing it. Amazon has committed to finishing most of their stuff. Like, even when they see a drop in ratings for certain TV shows, like, they do finish it. There's a couple examples where that wasn't the case. Like, I think Citadel, but they haven't even canceled it yet. But the odds of it continuing on are pretty slim. But for the most part, they do finish it. Disney doesn't, though. Disney, they will straight up, like, sell the TV. They'll cancel it and write it off on their taxes. And
Warner Brothers, WB's worse. I mean, they're even worse than Disney. Yeah, they'll make a whole season of a show, and then not even air it. It's not even bother. And they'll just like, cancel it. Yeah,
we made Batgirl. It's not great, so we're just gonna not show it to anyone. And you're like, oh, okay. Which people.
Speaking of bats, did you see the Beetlejuice trailer that dropped today?
Oh no, we'll watch it,
dude. It's dope. Yeah, we should. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. But
we will watch it. I will check it out. We got a super chat from John Burns. He is asking if I saw the Dark Matter debate on Discord. I do not know. I will look. I haven't been on Discord today.
I used to practically live on Discord. Now I'm never on it. It's sad.
I haven't been on Discord in a couple of days because I've been working my butt off, and I can get sucked into Discord pretty quickly. We'll look at that. We'll look at the Dark Matter stuff in the members section. Excuse me, 1 second. I got a dog howling. 1 second.
I was going to ask. I thought it was a kitty cat, but well, hey everyone. I guess I'm here by myself. So yeah, if you want to roast me in the chat for liking the Acolyte, please feel free. But while he's gone, to give us something to talk about. But I absolutely loved it. That's the most epic lightsaber duel I think I've ever seen. It was just like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jedi, using the Force to jump back off the bridge, and just that whole fight scene to me was amazing. Oh, Brian's back.
Sorry, I recognize I wasn't professional. But my dog was at my studio door going.
I thought it was a cat. I was about to ask you, is that a cat meowing?
So weird, dude.
Yeah.
She never makes any noise. I don't know. Okay. Thank you, John Burns. We will check that out in the members section, my dude. Okay. So back to The Boys, and we can finish it up.
Yeah.
I think that there were some missteps this season, like everything with the Frenchie stuff. Don't care,
especially with the payoff we got with Frenchie and
there was no real payoff. They finally got together. I wasn't aware that they weren't together.
Yeah, so they didn't need to. Like, that's something I think I said that last time I was a guest on your show. You could take all that Frenchie gay stuff completely out, and it has zero effect on the show. So it's completely unnecessary. Just like I didn't feel lost. At the very least, I didn't watch last week's episode. I might not have watched I didn't watch How many episodes ago was the one with the sex dungeon? Was that 2 or 3 episodes ago?
It was the episode before last.
Okay, so I only didn't watch the last week's episode then.
No. I'm sorry. Episode before that one.
Okay, so I didn't watch
the
so
Tech Knight, right? Is when he's in like the dirty Batman cave, right?
Yeah. So this was 3 episodes after that. There were one that one, then
that episode, then last week's episode, then last
so
week's and this week's. So
okay, then I only missed one.
Right.
Yeah. And I didn't feel lost. So whatever happened last week didn't matter either.
Yeah,
so.
everything with Frenchie had no bearing. In fact, Butcher just like called in some favors and got him out of prison or jail or whatever. Like, all right, don't worry, I called in some favors and I got Frenchie out. And like, all right, so like everything that Frenchie did, everything he said, all of his story point literally amounted to nothing.
Did they kill? I do have a question. The only question I have from not watching last week's episode. Did they kill A-Train? Because I noticed this week's episode, they said they canceled the A-Train show. Is that because they killed him and covered it up? Or did he get chicken shit and run off?
Oh, he ran away.
He ran away. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, there was, and he's not dead. He just
okay.
He's
screwed for. He better be.
Well, so speaking of everyone that's screwed, Starlight got away.
I think she's the only one that got away.
Which the way she got away looked super rad too. Like her powers activated. She, I mean, she looked
jumped
really
up
cool.
and then supernova.
She looked super cool the way she did.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, but everyone else got captured pretty much.
Yeah, Mother's Milk got smacked in the back of the head with a giant penis. So that was unfortunate.
By the way, I understand that soup is supposed to be a funny soup, but so there's no reason to have him in the field because he doesn't have any real skilks. It's just a funny soup. So
yeah.
And so I know why they did that though. They wanted to once again to slap Mother's Milk around with a giant penis because they keep doing that to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else? Oh, we saw some Generation V characters.
I never saw Generation V.
Oh, you'll like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. But we did. We saw one of the main characters in Generation V. And we saw a return of one of that crazy bald chick. That's so OP. The girl with the hand who grabbed Frenchie's face.
Oh, with the
and let him away. She basically has the ability to influence your mind and make you forget things.
I kind of figured that out just because she whispered in his ear something and then he followed her. And then the other chick, Starlight, was about to fight. She was hovering something. Is that another person from Generation V?
I think it's another person from Generation V. I think.
Okay.
I think it is. So that's cool. So what I'm gathering is
now I can watch Generation V while I wait for next season.
Yeah, you'll like Generation V. I think I liked it actually. There's a little more woke stuff in it or whatever. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Okay.
One of the characters literally controls blood and she uses her period blood, which sounds that sounds super woke, but it's not as woke as you think.
It sounds super gross is what
it's just gross. Yeah. So here's the deal. I think we're going to get Generation V characters in the next season, which is cool. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have 6 people from Supernatural in the next season, which is awesome. We're going to have a conclusion to Homelander versus Butcher, which is great. And we know Butcher's still alive, which means he's going to at least live until the end of next season, which is great. So far, I'm seeing a lot of good things for the last season. I don't know why they wouldn't just kill these people. They have full carte blanche.
Why did they round them up? I was thinking that too. Why round them up? Just kill him. Like when she grabbed Frenchie's, because I can't remember if he was the first one, but when that girl grabbed him, or not grabbed him, but placed her hand there, right. I thought she was about to just
break his
snap neck. Basically make his head go backwards right in front of Komiko. You know what I mean? That's what I thought was going to happen.
For some reason they didn't do that.
They're just rounding him out. Yeah, rounding him up.
Also, then thank you, Jeremy. We're going to finally find out what happened to Ashley 1.
Ashley 1?
The first Ashley.
The
original Ashley.
The Ashley that they were looking for in this episode? Or is that
the one who ran and took the V.
Oh, okay.
So remember, she was.
Yeah, she lost her hair and started screaming.
She's been bald since like season 2.
Oh, that's right. She pulling her hair.
She wears
out
a wig.
Yeah.
Because she's always so stressed out, which is low key terrifying and hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that.
If they were gonna kill her, I think that she just instantly explodes. And so the fact that they didn't just explode her means she probably has powers.
I feel like it looked like she was almost. I felt like maybe she was gonna like. Not like quite as big as the Hulk, but I thought maybe she was going to transform into some like monster looking thing. The way she screamed and like bent over and
knowing poor Ashley, her powers are probably going to be super pathetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like really, really pathetic. Like she's just a bigger target or something, you know? But
that
I still
part with
see it.
The Deep was so messed up. The
Deep has totally turned the corner. He is no longer redeemable. He's just a totally bad guy.
Oh yeah, no, it was like he's talking to that guy, and he's like, "Okay, you can go." And he just turns around, and just he punches right through his face, and you can see the tongue flap as the guy slides down the wall. So, and then see that's the grotesque stuff about The Boys I like, not the crap a couple episodes ago that turned me off of the show. That was just too much.
It was so weird though.
Yeah,
like Tech Knight is just this massive pervert.
Oh yeah, all of that was.
It was definitely a turnoff, and I'm not sure why. Like Huey is supposed to be like, he's supposed to be the character you root for. Like he's the regular guy.
He's the everyman. He's the audience point of view. He's the audience entry point.
So let's just recap what happens to Huey now from season 1 to now. His girlfriend is murdered, and he's drawn into this world where he has to try to be the guiding light for the boys. This group of people who have very little morals, and they do a lot of bad things, but ultimately for the right reasons. AKA Butcher is a straight up murderer. The only difference between Butcher and Homelander is that Butcher is doing it for the right reasons. He's on the good guy's side, right? Good guy's side. Yeah. So Huey is set up to be like this guy's moral barometer. Mm-hmm. And then, and he's pushed around a lot, and he's pistol whipped, and he's insulted, but it's okay because he's getting through to the boys. And then they try to give him a little bit of masculinity. He takes the temp V. He tries to help. He's immediately chastised by his girlfriend and team girl and all that. And he's put down for his now toxic masculinity because he's trying to take charge of his life and be the hero. He goes back to typical Huey, where he's pushed around. He's taken advantage of by his boss. He's yelled at by his girlfriend. He's kicked around by all his soups. And then he's raped in a dungeon.
Before he's raped, you skip the part where he just walks away from everything and just tries to have a normal life. And when he's a campaign manager.
Right. And then he gets sucked back in because his boss is literally a soup.
Yeah. So
and then he's raped in a dungeon trying to help. Yeah. And then he gets out of that dungeon. And he's raped by a shapeshifter, both physically and emotionally and anally, I might add.
Yeah.
The guy is constantly just beat up. Like, one way I want to see the boys end is with Huey getting something for himself.
Yeah, right?
I want to see Huey win once. Just one time.
Yeah.
That doesn't involve him being anally raped by a superhero. That's it.
I did love the line from Starlight where she's like, "You're getting tested for every human possible disease or whatever."
Because that shapeshifter got around.
Because she's like, "Because I'm not getting shapeshifter syphilis." I thought that was so funny.
So overall, though, it was a good time. We'll wrap it up. Overall, I really liked how it ended. They really did stick the landing, like you said.
They did. They stuck the landing. Yeah.
And can't wait to see how it ends. And I'm really excited for it. Now we're gonna have to wait for 2 years, but
is it gonna be that long?
2026, man. That's what I read.
Ah, wow. Okay.
Long time to wait, but
yes, it is.
Who knows? I'm sure we'll see Homelander in a red hat. At some point. It'll be like he'll be selling his merch or something,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's it for the boys. Let us know what you guys thought. We got a super chat from Frodo.
Super chat.
Now she is referring to herself as Christy's Corner. I like that. Not all about me, but I changed my name from Dame Frodo Lives to Christy's Corner. Okay, Christy's Corner. Thank you, Christy. And yeah, what do you guys think about what happened to Ashley? If you can give me, what power would she have? I love how they have these very unique powers. Not just like the giant penis, or what about Huey's dad having those weird vibrational powers? Like it's almost like super speed, but different. Like a lot of these people have very unique powers. We see some of the typical power sets: speed, strength, flight, whatever. But we also see some pretty unique stuff. Like, dude, the Spider-Man fill-in, web slinger or web whatever. What was his name? Anyways, web something.
Yeah, web
well,
something.
He literally has like a hole near his rear end where like the spider webs come out. I thought it was hilarious because remember, in No Way Home, he was asking him, "Well, where does the spider webs come from?"
Oh, do they come from anywhere else? Yeah. Is it just a wrist?
Right. I thought that was clever. Okay. So that's it. That's it for the boys. Let us know what you guys think. What's going to happen? Yeah, they need to wait. I like this. Archmage says they need to wait for our upcoming election and know where to take the show. Right.
That's why it's going to. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Although Kripke, there's this crazy article that came out a few weeks ago that Salty Trekker was sharing with me when I was forcing him to, because he made me watch the last season of Discovery because I didn't watch, I hadn't watched any of the previous season, and I bailed at like season whatever 3, middle of season 3.
Right.
And so he said, since I did that, I could pick a show, so I picked The Boys. And then he shared this article that apparently Kripke just came out in saying that, this is totally, I am very left wing. This is totally a stab at Trump, and this, like, where he just admits it. And he was sharing this article. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah. I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
You did too. Okay.
I disagree with that. Look, like, I don't care what his political beliefs are. I'm not gonna base my enjoyment of the show.
I don't either. I'm just saying to Archie's phrase points.
But he really shouldn't alienate half his potential audience. Like, that is a bad play. Now, to his credit, he already has season 5. Like, it's already it's already in the bag. It doesn't matter if he's nice anymore,
Yeah, but I was just bringing that up because of what he said. They had to wait for the election, and I don't know if that was just a joke or if he thinks that's what they're doing. I don't think the results are going to matter. Kripke's going to do what he does, so that's But who knows? Could be.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Speaking of that, do you want to talk about the animation attempt?
Yes. Okay. So the animation attempt. Now, it's been more than 20 minutes. So, someone attempted to assassinate President Trump at a rally. Here's what happened
in Pennsylvania, I believe it was.
This season on America, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, right.
It feels like a TV show because, it couldn't have been written to be any more ridiculous than it is. So let's break it down.
Well, before we make light of it, I do want to say
I'm not making light of it. First off,
deepest condolences to the bystander who because at first they weren't reporting it because I ended up watching it.
They weren't talking about the guy who passed away. They were just talking about President Trump.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my! I even said it's a miracle. Because there were all those people behind. I was like, it's a miracle nobody was killed. And then 30 minutes later, they say somebody got killed. So
you find out the way he died was like shielding his wife and daughter or something like that.
Yeah. It's just it's heartbreaking.
It's like the saddest thing ever. So this is what happened though. During a rally that President Trump was having, there was a lot of people there. For some reason, CNN was covering it, which is funny because CNN has not been covering his rallies. So that's like the first thing that's like very TV show centric, like proof that this is a TV show and we're all living in a simulation.
Okay.
So CNN hasn't been covering rallies for a long, long time. They decided to cover this one. Second, the Secret Service was actually amped up. So like they were told that there would be extra Secret Service there. But additionally, because Jill Biden was doing some kind of thing nearby, they siphoned off, I guess, the A tier, the A team Secret Service guys, and left the, I don't even know if they're B team, like the D team people there. And in
the junior varsity squad,
and in the middle of his, speech or whatever you want to call it, like where he just sort of rambles, like that's what the president does at rallies. He starts talking, and there's usually a direction, and then he just sort of goes off on his own tangent. He's basically doing a podcast, but it's live. That's how the President Trump speaks. And in the middle of that, shots ring out. And this is what's crazy is it was so close, and you can see us online. Maybe I can pull it up. It was so close to hitting him that within like millimeters is the difference between death and and his ear being shot off.
Yeah.
I think
man.
Ben Shapiro reported on it. I'll show you. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'd watched that clip because they played it over and over again the day that it happened, and it was funny because there was like he kind of does this, and then he grabs his ear,
right,
and then he ducks, but he had the initial like, whoa, what, but yeah, if that bullet had just been just this much the other, just not even just that much the other way, he'd be dead, and that's crazy. That's just.
Yeah, it's wild. And I'll pull it up. But what
I
happened was
how he immediately fist pumps, and you could tell he says like you know what I mean? Like I censored myself there, but you could tell he's saying
you're right.
That.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part. So it comes within. I'll find that video to play before we end. But it comes within millimeters of killing him. Two bullets whizzed by his cheek and then his ear. And all because he just happened to turn his head both those times.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who I play video games with was like, that dude maxed evasion. Which I thought was hilarious. Like if you guys ever play any MOBA or whatever, like you can like
he rolled a 19 on luck.
Yeah, he rolled a light team for critical. He rolled a critical for evasion.
Yeah.
But he did it twice. Like both times, those bullets should have killed him, and he just happened to turn his head both those times, which is honestly nuts. Like I got nothing else to say about it other than it's crazy how close.
I'm going to sound like firecracker here, but that is just divine intervention. That is Jesus Christ Himself putting His hand down and protecting our Savior Donald Trump. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm look.
Firecrackers playing a character.
I am a Christian man, and I do believe in divine intervention and all that too, stuff. But I also, I don't want to sound like firecracker.
That's why I just leaned into it.
But I do want to say like it does seem like he didn't just get lucky once. He got lucky
like
twice.
Yeah.
In real time with no information. That's sort of crazy, right? Like I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, and then the way he comes up after getting hit, he goes down, and then he's like, "Oh, F this!" And he's like, he's
mad, and he's like pumping his fist.
He's like, fight! But it could.
That's going to be in a political ad, dude. I'm telling you right now.
It could not have been better. It could not have been better for him.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was talking to my buddy right after it happened. And he's a liberal guy, right? And I have a lot. By the way, I have a lot of liberal friends. I love all people, as long as they don't hurt other people. I don't care what their opinions are.
Most of my friends are liberal, and they assume I'm liberal, but because they don't watch any podcasts that I'm on. So
listen, we can disagree politically on things and still be friends as long as you don't hurt anyone. Then I don't really care what you do as an adult. But I was talking to him, and he's like, and he texted me, and he goes, this image, and he shows me the image of him, like, he goes, I know I'm like not supposed to like this, but this shit goes hard. And I'm like, it does, and he goes, I think he just won the election.
Yeah,
I'm like, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So
for real.
So this is what happened though. So now that's everything what everyone knows. Now you do a little bit of a deep dive, and you find out that the shooter was a 20 something or 21 or 20-year-old, whatever kid.
Trans.
So I just learned that today. So he was trans.
Yeah.
So
I think the registered Republican thing was just a red herring, like to throw people off. Or I don't think he was ever really a Republican, or she, or whatever pronoun that piece of trash wants. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what their pronouns were.
Yeah.
Well, what I do know is this: that he or she or whatever. Let's just say he, because that's
he.
That's what I've been told for the last week. Yeah. Was very young. People generally liked him for the most part until like a few days later when you have a couple of guys in high school like, no man, he was a total dick. So there's some people that didn't like him. He kept to himself. He was a sort of a nerd. He was a nutrition specialist at an old folks home. He joked about having a 10-inch penis. Typical kid stuff. Interestingly, he did not have a social media presence, which I thought was, for like that age, like Zoomers, they all have social media.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
He didn't have a social media. And what he did was he went to the rally and he climbed up a ladder. But here's the deal. He didn't take a ladder. So there was a ladder, for some reason, just like pushed up against the side of the building, which I find, I guess maybe you could have put it there the day before or whatever, but I find that, like, how did the Secret Service do all their sweeps and not think that a ladder leaning up against the building is not suspicious at all? Additionally, it was only like 125 yards away. Here's the deal. I was in the military. I was a pretty good shot. 125 yards with a scoped rifle, cakewalk. Like, it's not hard. It's not that long.
It's really actually, that's, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was doing the math in my head.
Yeah.
Converting that into,
yeah, I believe it was 125 yards, right? Whatever, I forgot the exact, it was like 125, 145, something. It was it was 150 meters. So the roof lay less than 150 meters. That is not far away.
Yeah, it's like
for a scope rifle.
Less than 500 feet,
Right? It's not far away. It's 165 yards total. It's a very easy shot. So that's clearly within the Secret Service's bubble of protection or whatever. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, they ignore the ladder. They're not checking the shooter, whatever it is. People are telling them in the crowd, hey, there's a guy with a rifle on the roof.
Is that true?
People were literally, like, there's video of it, of people telling the Secret Service agents that there's a guy on the rifle on the roof for multiple minutes before anything happened. Additionally, one of the sheriff's department was there with a counter sniper. They had eyes on the guy, and he asked to be able to shoot the guy, and he was told, well, they don't know if that's just a guy using a scope to watch the president or not, so don't shoot him.
Oh, this is borderline either negligence or some kind of involvement.
So he was denied his ability to shoot the sniper. He only shot him after the shots rang out. That's when he ignored permission, because you don't need permission then, and he took the guy out.
Yeah.
He was denied permission to shoot the guy when it was clear, because the excuse was, what if it's an innocent bystander using a scope to watch the president from a roof in the prone position? Get out of here.
I mean, why isn't this all over the news? I feel like, wow, this is first I'm hearing of this. This is crazy.
Yeah, Jeremy said it's 125 yards at a running deer isn't that hard. No, it's not. It's not. It's just not that far. And I'm not like some like expert sniper in the military, but like I feel like anyone that can handle a weapon, a rifle specifically, with minimal training can probably, and with a scope can probably land a shot. Right.
Yeah.
Although I'm not trying to brag, but I did get 40 out of 43 on my marksmanship, so
a little humble brag there.
Yeah. So those are the facts. And so they shoot the shooter after the fact. And when they were asked why they didn't have people on that roof when it was clearly within the protection bubble, the scope of protecting the president, the head of the CIA, the Secret Service, her name is Cheadle, said that because the roof was sloped, it was a safety issue. Her words. The roof was sloped, so it's a safety issue. Yes, it was a safety issue for the president.
God.
So, this year on America, season 3, we have what appears to be total and I'm hoping this is the case, total negligence.
Yeah.
Total ineptitude.
That person needs to lose their job.
They are not capable of doing this job. The wrong people are doing that job. Then you see these videos come out where like one of the Secret Service ladies, agents, coincidentally a woman, don't read anything into this, can't even holster her weapon. She's like trying to find the slot. She's like this. She's like confused and looking around, and she's having a hard time. And
this is after the shots.
Yeah, this is when
she's one of the. I think I saw this. She's one of the ones on stage, right?
No, this is after. It's when they're getting him in the car.
Getting him in the car. Okay.
Yeah, let me find the clip for you. I don't even know where it is. I should have this clip already set up. I apologize.
That's all good.
That same agent.
Hey, Alex, come on. Let's not be racist. He says there's going to be so many slope memes. We don't need to,
There are a lot of slope memes.
No, hey, that's a racial slur. We're at peace with Japan now. We don't use that word anymore.
You're the one being racist. He wasn't talking about Japanese. Oh my God. No, there are a lot of slope memes out there.
There you go again. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
No, it's an inside joke because I was making fun on I was making fun of Saul, and I called him a dirty slope, and Salty Trekker almost lost his stuff. I was like, I've never even heard. He's like, what's a slope? I was like, oh, that's what my grandpa used to. He was in the Korean War. That's what he used to call the Koreans. He's like, what? So it's racist slur? What's wrong with you?
So there are some pretty hilarious memes, like one with like Bane looking all giant big, and it's like the most well-funded secret security agency in the world versus, and it's like a guy in like a little like pink outfit, and it's like a slope.
A slope.
No, so this is what happens. So it has to be, and I'm hoping this is the case. I'm hoping that it wasn't like a plan to murder the president, because
yeah, I hope so too.
I'll tell you why that would be the stupidest thing ever. First off, because they missed. This is going to help President Trump more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Had they not missed and they actually shot him, it would have been devastating for the country. Like, it
would have spun us into some kind of civil war, probably.
Like, all the people that was like, "This is gonna be the next civil war," I always tell them like, that's ridiculous. But this is probably something that would have sparked that, like, for sure.
Oh yeah.
On national television, everyone's saying it. It would have been massive. It would like we wouldn't be the same country ever again.
You're right, and this is the first time. A lot of kids don't remember. This is the first time. This is the first attempt in a lot of people's lifetime. I remember when Reagan was shot at, and he's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So think about how long that's been.
And it was funny. It was what's crazy about that. Like when you look at the Reagan footage, those Secret Service agents were like, they were in it. Like the second they jump on the president. Like they're clearly extremely good at their jobs, efficient killers, Yeah. And you see President Trump, and it's like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. I mean, how about this? I don't know if you saw this. I posted this recently, but look at this. I'm sorry. This is right after the president was shot at. She's literally standing behind the president. And I get it. It's a reaction. Like, you hear bullets, you start, you get low, but you're standing behind the guy you're supposed to be protecting.
Yeah, she should be on that dog pile. If she's a Secret Service agent, she needs to be fired.
She's the one who
she needs to be
holds her
fired.
weapon.
She needs to be fired. She should be on that dog pile. The whole point is your job is to die for the president. That's your job. If what's that Clint Eastwood movie? Line of Fire. I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
Yeah, go. That chick needs to watch that movie. What's wrong with her? Crouching in the back like a coward. You're in the wrong line of work.
So here's what I'm talking about. Watch the same woman that was hiding behind her. Watch her reaction. She's clearly not cut out for this job. She's like, she cannot holster a weapon.
Yeah.
She's gonna try again. Right now it's out. She goes up. And she finally gets it in.
Yeah. Archmage W was shot at, but he wasn't shot. Trump was shot. Reagan was shot. They were both hit. Now, granted, Trump got lucky and it just blew like the tip of his ear off. But W didn't get shot.
No, W took a shoe to the face. You don't recall that?
Oh, I do remember the shoe.
No. So here's another one. One more slope meme that I thought was pretty funny.
Shoes fired. What? It's a cow on a roof.
I just thought it was funny. Like the tagline when someone posted this was Secret Service director. The roof slope was unsafe. There's an actual cow on the same type of roof walking around. This last one I thought was funny too. Become an agent of the United States Secret Service. Now hiring individuals with roofing experience.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that it was just they're bad at their jobs. The wrong people were there that day. There's nothing malicious here because no one gains from this whatsoever. You miss, and I mean, no liberals gain. You miss, and President Trump is now a living legend with a photo that will go in history books to the end of time.
Yep.
And you hit him, and you have civil war, and the world changes forever. So in every way, I'm hoping this was just pure negligence and that very confused, disturbed young man that has probably been lied to for the last 8 years by a lot of really harmful words and rhetoric. I'm glad he was unsuccessful.
Based off that footage of the picture and the footage of that one female agent alone, it's negligent. It's probably multiple. Like it's not just at the top. If the top is negligent, then there's going to be negligence, all the way down. And you had a photographic and video evidence of somebody who does not need to be in that position.
Right. And here's the crazy part: when they blame the slope being unsafe, there is the slope that the shooter was on. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Note the slope. Well, behind Trump is where the counter shooter is on. It's even more sloped. So the whole it is too sloped thing is just.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm so proud of my mom. Do you see the joke she just made? I'm so proud of you, Mom.
Secret Service had to hire their DEI quota. So that's another thing too. Cheadle, who is the head of the Secret Service, she is on record like a year ago saying that there needs to be more diversity in the Secret Service, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I disagree. I think just hire the best people regardless of their gender or their color. It doesn't matter.
Hire the best people for the job. I don't care
it's the
what
Secret Service, dude. We're not cooking burgers here. Come on.
Yeah, when lives are at stake, you hire who's best for the job. Yeah, you don't need to check boxes. The only box you need to check is, are you a badass? That's it.
Yeah, it's really quite silly. So that's what happened. And now we're going to be going into right now the RNC is happening. The RNC is ridiculous. Look, I can vote conservative. I can be a conservative guy and still think the RNC is dumb. And I'm not trying to offend anyone when I say that, but it has there's a lot of boomers there doing a lot of cringy stuff, especially now because of the assassination attempt and that awesome picture that looks like an album cover from Led Zeppelin's latest world tour. And they're just doing a lot of cringy stuff that just especially characters like Matt Gaetz and You know, Amber, what's her name? Amber something, Amber Rose, I believe her name is.
I haven't been paying attention to the circus, man, to be honest with you.
No, but so they got Amber Rose there. I'm pretty sure her name is Amber Rose. Yeah, Amber Rose, who, like, a lot of conservatives are acting weird about, especially the Christian ones, because they're like, oh, well, she's a OnlyFans whore, and she started the slut walk, and she did Satan stuff. And now she says she's changed her mind on all that, and she's accepting conservatism, and they gave her a slot to speak at because she has like 10 million followers, and she's up there with her face tattoo, and she's saying all kinds of, and she's saying good things, but people are losing it because she's not what a conservative looks like. And here's what I gotta say to people like that: who cares what she looks like? And honestly, who cares what her past is? People are allowed to change their mind. It's okay to change your mind. In fact, I think it's a good thing that when you get more information, you change your mind. Hello?
Also, yeah, not only that, but I have to believe, as someone who's part of 12 traditions is to not speak it by name, but as somebody who's in this program, I have to believe change is possible. And if change is possible, it means you got to give somebody a second chance. So, you know.
Yeah, even if it's Amber Rose.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't even know who Amber Rose is. You know, what's funny is all
I still don't know who she is.
Oh, this is her now. Sorry, NSFW a little bit.
Oh wow, she's hot. She can speak at my rally.
I'm not a fan of the bald hair from women. But
wait a minute, was that the actress that played Batwoman?
No, that's not Amber Rose. That's Ruby Rose.
Okay.
You know what's coincidentally is she was also bald.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, she was also bald. I'm scrolling fast as I can because I think there's some NSFW stuff on here.
Yeah. Well, no, I get the point. Yeah, she's hot. I'll check her out now.
Yeah, so there she is at the RNC, face tattoo, and look, her speech wasn't bad. It was like, I'm not gonna play it because I'm pretty sure that they'll get me for copyright. Which, by the way, is super hypocritical of the RNC to copyright claim people that are trying to promote your event. So
yeah, I mean, come on, you know, this is America.
But here's the deal: she got up there and she basically said, like, look, I had some bad ideas. I have a conservative father who's always been there for me. Which, by the way, where was he the last 18 years of your life? But whatever. And she says, I'm changing. You know, I've learned a lot of things and I've realized this is the right path. Look, guys, it's okay. Changing your mind when you get more information is a good thing. In fact, I think that anytime you get more information about core values or core things about yourself, you should reevaluate your latest position to make sure that you are in the best position possible given all the information you have. So the conservatives losing their minds over this person who doesn't have Christian values, well, you're just wrong. Christians and conservatives have overlapping values, but they are not the same thing. You can be a conservative, be part of the conservative movement, and not be Christian.
And not be Christian.
That's okay.
You know, there's a difference between a Christian and a conservative Christian. Those are three different things.
Yeah, way different.
You know, yeah.
So that's it on that. The whole RNC is actually. I wanted to show clips, but I uploaded all the clips that I procured, and I uploaded them to YouTube as a test, and they all came back copyright claimed.
Yeah, yeah.
But you go look it up. There's compilations out there. Matt Gaetz looks ridiculous, by the way. I'll show you what he looks like. Also, someone I didn't even know about. Had no interest in this person until today, until like last week. He is definitely a character. Like, something's wrong with this guy. And just because someone is in your movement or they're conservative doesn't mean they have their, or liberal, whatever you are. Just because they're part of what you're doing doesn't mean they're a good person or even remotely have their head on straight. Remember that, please. Don't just like give someone the benefit of the doubt because they happen to be part of your group. Tribalism doesn't help anyone. That's why it's important to focus on the information you have before making a conclusion. Well, here's Matt Gaetz at the start of the RNC. Sort of normal looking guy, right? Here he is in the next day. What the F is happening? Just like
he looks like he looks like a Batman villain in his like civilian form.
Right? He looks like yeah, he does. He looks like Two-Face, but only the face part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this guy, but like he looks normal. And then like the next day he has like a facelift right before his speech or something. I don't know.
Maybe just Botox injections or something.
I don't know. But then he was out there like yelling at people and just I don't know anything about the guy. And you can tell me in the chat, but he just seems like he's a total scumbag. And I'm not going to just give him the benefit of the doubt because he happens to be a conservative. Just like I don't give liberals the benefit of the doubt just because I like them. Like you got to like your personality has to at least make sense. This guy seems like an asshole. Who else? That's it. I was trying to fill you guys in on the RNC stuff so you didn't have to watch all the boring stuff. But there's a lot of boring stuff. And I gave you all the bullet points. There's all the bullet points. Did you read that Grindr crashed because of the RNC? Go Google Milwaukee Grindr. I gotta Google that now. Obviously.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be in your search history, bro.
Oh, you're right. That's gay dating app Grindr crash during the RNC in Milwaukee. Hey man, you can suck whoever.
Joe Cronin, what's up, bro?
If you like guys, that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
What? That's funny. All right, guys, we have to get going here to the members section where I'm going to take my pants off and we're going to get weird, really weird. I hope you can join us. Hit the join button, bottom left. And
hold up before we go. Let me give everybody a gift.
What are you doing?
Oh, I pooed in my hand.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Look, here's the deal. I'm gonna let Danny outro us, but if you want to be a member, please consider becoming a member, hitting the join button at the bottom left, and join us in the members section where the water is always warm and the memes run hot. Go ahead and close this up, brother.
Thanks for joining us, Brian. Thanks for having me. And if you guys want to check me out, I'm at DorkKnightLV on Twitter. And,
link in the description.
And I do nerd fights actually 6:00 tonight. So join us after the show.
Okay, guys, we are going to the members section. I hope you guys can join us. If not, then I'll see you on Saturday. And I guess Danny will see you at 6:00. See you in the members section.
Nothing is impossible. Just do it. Do it. Just